I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Right. Okay. It's opening the meeting at 5:32. Right. Do you want to read the mission statement?
Certainly.
Vice Chair, just to remind us where we should be heading.
The mission statement of this board is: the duly appointed Newbury Lower Green Lower Historic District Study Committee is responsible for conducting an investigation to determine the desirability and feasibility of establishing a local historic district inclusive of the Newbury Lower Green, considering the historic significance of all buildings, structures, features, sites, or surroundings that would be included in such proposed local historic district. The purpose and goal: to protect the historic Newbury Lower Green and the natural and built environment surrounding it for future generations to enjoy and experience the visual sense of the past history of our town. A Lower Green local historic district will create neighborhood stabilization and community pride and forever provide Newbury school children with a playing field and educational opportunities. The intent of this local historic district is to maintain and improve the settings of those buildings and places and to encourage new designs compatible with existing buildings in the district.
It's interesting because there were 50 or 60 kids playing on the green when we went by today.
Yeah, it was full house. Great, thank you. Right, we need to review and approve the minutes from the last meeting, which was October 30th.
So one thing, Ellie, I'm not sure if it needs to be changed for the spot where it says adjournment. It says the next meeting will be held for Monday, December 11th. I'm not sure if that needs to be changed at all.
That's a good question, because that was the meeting we decided on,
Mhm.
and
then we were
later
sick
we had
and
to
yeah.
cancel
We
it.
didn't have a quorum.
But at that time,
Okay.
it was the,
That's correct.
Yeah,
Like we
I don't
said.
know. I don't. But that was my only thing. I mean,
Yeah.
the rest of it is perfect.
It didn't take place because weren't quorum, were we?
no,
No,
it didn't
no,
I was
take
ill
place.
and
At
so
that
was
So I
time.
think it is
Yeah.
legitimate to leave it in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just didn't.
Okay.
It didn't happen.
Okay.
Just didn't.
Yeah.
Holidays.
Move to
That was the plan.
move to accept the minutes of the October 30th, 2023 meeting.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Very good, approved. I think it should be noted that should anyone query the fact that the meeting wasn't held, the reasons it wasn't held for.
Okay, the meeting was not held in December because we did not have a quorum because two of our members were ill at the time, and one of them was not able to be present. She had a prior engagement, and that would only leave two, so that we did not have a quorum for the meeting.
Great, thank you, noted. Right. Now, the next item was the select board update, of which Long made a presentation to the board back in...
It was a while ago.
Yes, I can't remember the actual date, but we'll put in the date
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah.
So,
Was it the November 15th meeting? No, that's
No,
the
is
intent,
it?
no, yeah.
I could tell you if I had my phone, because it would
Right.
be in there,
Yeah.
sitting on my
Well,
computer.
you can carry on and update us while I just look up the date.
So you want to update us on it?
We gave the presentation, I had a PowerPoint, I went through all of the different things, the status of kind of what we had accomplished. I should have maybe brought that, but of course it was taped, the meeting, I mean the select board meeting was taped, so people could take a look at it. But I had gone through by the month what we had accomplished and the various things and where we were headed, and there was some discussion, there were questions. I think it was Jeff Walker that was surprised that it wasn't just the green, that he thought it was just the green, but it's not. As you read our mission statement, it's the green and the surrounding environment that we're trying to protect.
And it's important to emphasize that particular point because the Massachusetts Historic Commission emphasise the fact it isn't just a plot of land that's a field. They need the whole district and what it represents around it,
Right.
which I think we made pretty clear to the select board.
Yeah, you answered a bunch of questions. I'm trying to remember what other questions that were there.
They were related to the extent of it. They were related to the engagement with all the people in the area, which
Right.
the select board were very conscious that we did engage everyone through personal, through survey, which is going to be an ongoing discussion, and through personal contact, and through meetings such as the one we had at the schoolhouse.
Right.
So I think we answered, and they are obviously very interested in our report when it comes out.
Yeah. No, and we also talked a little bit about the fact that it wasn't just we were looking at the approaches to the green, in addition to just the green and the surroundings.
Right.
And I mean, we're still doing that. That hasn't been changed. So we haven't really defined the outer boundary at this point.
Correct.
Yeah, I wish we had the dates, because this is for the recording here.
I'll
Because,
fit it
yeah.
into that later.
Okay, yeah,
Because they could watch the video, people could watch the video.
I normally have Wi-Fi access. I don't know why I can't connect, but I would be able to look it up if I did.
Yeah.
So if anyone has that, I know I've connected
Yeah.
with Wi-Fi before, but my computer, to be honest, hasn't recovered from the solar eclipse and has been having a
Oh,
little bit of a
really?
fit all afternoon.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm blaming that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately I can't help with the
Okay.
date.
Right. That,
Yeah. And we were talking about giving one to the planning board too, which we haven't done. But-
Giving-
But Martha was at the meeting, so.
Giving what?
a second.
That presentation.
Yeah.
We had talked about giving it to the select board and the planning board at one point.
I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah. And we could do that. We would just update them with where we are now. Nothing would have. I could use the same PowerPoint.
Okay. Right, that moves on neatly into the next item, which is the no, we're not there yet.
So there was an MHC grant opportunity.
Oh, hold
Oh,
on.
yes.
I don't
Yeah.
think we're quite there yet.
Okay.
The delivery options, survey delivery options update, I think is agenda item that we're on. Was there any discussion at the select board meeting about funding for that? Because we've kind of hit that wall of not being able to send out to our entire audience without town funding.
But
If
I seem to get agreement we could spend up to $800 for the, we told them that we made an estimate of what it would cost to do.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so for mailing and such.
Right, Tracy didn't say where it might come from, but
Okay.
I had the impression that when we're ready, we should, ask.
Okay,
But they could come up with that.
wonderful, because I think we're
Ready.
I think we're ready, yeah, not with our, we need to kind of draft our second survey and get that out. The other wall that we've kind of hit to is the, any online survey, unless we pay for a subscription, we can't take more than 10. So if, I don't know off the top of my head what a budget for, say, SurveyMonkey for maybe 6 months or so would look like. But if it's possible, if part of that budget could be used for that, if we feel that it's a useful tool, or if we want to stick with paper, that's another option. It's just
I have a subscription to SurveyMonkey.
What?
SurveyMonkey?
Yeah.
Surveys, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a paying, I don't know.
But how many?
Lon has agreed.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do them. I just paid the bill.
How many can
Just
you
for our
put
group.
on it?
How many can you put on?
yeah. How many surveys can you receive via that? Do you have any idea?
'Cause I
How many
think
surveys, what does that
How many
mean?
surveys can you
You
receive? I
receive.
mean, is it unlimited? with
Like
your
responses.
I mean, how many
responses?
responses? I have no idea.
Okay, that's
Like I said, I just paid the bill, but it's in my name.
is it
That's-
for whom is it? Is it?
For ACES, for our group, a nonprofit I work with.
Okay. Okay.
That's my
Oh, they-
donation.
Yes, I'm not sure whether you can use it for this.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. That would be a you question with your nonprofit.
Mhm.
Ah,
Mm-hmm. Because I'm
Right.
sure that
yeah, I'm probably gonna
has one
break
too,
on the
but-
price being a nonprofit, but,
Well, it's more of a almost it's not conflict of interest, but
Yeah,
Like-
it's like coattailing on
Yeah.
someone else's,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm not really
But
sure.
I mean, this is, a government board, I mean, we are, no?
Yeah,
So,
I can ask. Why don't I ask?
yeah, and
Yeah.
I will look into just pricing, if not, and see
Okay.
how much it would be, because I do think
$497 for
A year? Okay, so we don't need a year.
But, yeah, well,
I
I'm
really,
not sure,
really
I'm
want
not
to
sure
say
you
we
could do
don't need
less
a
than
year.
that. Yeah.
I think you can do it monthly.
Okay, oh, okay, then that
Mhm,
would,
you should be able to, because some of the
Yeah.
surveys don't last long. So I will look into pricing and
Okay.
see if then we can approach the town with, hey, when we have our next survey ready,
Yeah.
if that could be part of that 800, that would be awesome.
that's
'Cause it-
nice,
yeah.
because they do it does all the analysis and groups of stuff, and you can.
Yeah, and that way it's more immediate responses, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like we send out that QR code via the mail.
And you can watch it as it's going. and
I get
you
an
can
email
download and
every
do,
time, yeah,
interim
but it
checks
caps
out.
at 10. So.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
gonna look into it and.
And Lon will
And I'll
ask.
just find out what they say.
Right,
Okay, let me.
so Ellie, how many months would you say would be good, like 3 months, 4 months?
No, we need to look at that.
One
We need,
month.
because
Okay.
it's,
see what options they come up with.
see what options there are and see where it fits into our timeline, and kind of work with that, because, yeah, I think giving ourselves more definitive timelines would be a
Yeah.
useful
Yeah.
thing, so
Yeah.
if it is kind of limited by, all right, we have to have X done by this time, it
Right.
might not be a bad thing.
Okay,
It's better, I think it's always better to define rather than have things be amorphous, sort of, whoa.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
Now I remember, the $800 estimate was for the mailings, for the actual stamps and mailing, for the bulk mailing.
Okay,
I think that's what it was.
okay. Okay,
And maybe
I see.
printing, I don't remember anymore now.
right, okay, moving on, the MHC grant opportunity.
yeah, I think, oh, no, wait, what am I?
Did you
Grant opportunity
were going
or
to check?
guidance
That
update?
was the cost sharing one, I think,
Cost
but we would have to get permission, I think the town had to pick up 50% and they would
It's a
match
matching
it.
grant,
Are
yeah.
we working from the same agenda? I seem to have a different one. Oh, these are the minutes from last time.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
This
this is, yeah, this
Okay.
is the agenda,
Okay,
yeah,
thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
I was like, wait a minute, one says something different. Yeah, so,
Okay.
we just did this, so now update on the survey, which is very quick in that we have no new
No,
response.
right, sorry, yeah.
So yeah, then the grant just is, that was a last time, issue, the deadline passed. We
Yeah,
spoke
it
about
was
that
too
stuff,
quick,
yeah.
yeah, it was too quick.
So now it's,
Because we would have had to get permission to submit the thing from the select board,
Yeah.
because they have to pick up half the, in fact, I think they have to pick up
Yeah, it's
all
a
of the
matching
costs, and they get reimbursed for half.
yeah, it was a matching
Oh.
grant,
That's
but,
their shit, I know.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. All right.
I have a grant like that from Newburyport, it's that way.
Okay, right,
You gotta spend your money, and then they'll reimburse you half.
okay.
already,
So now we're here.
okay.
MHC guidance. We were reaching out to MHC on a few things. Now the minutes from last time might be helpful. With regards to the actual study report, how other, have any remembrance on this? What we wanted to reach out to MHC about?
I think that was a Robin thing, I'm gonna throw you right under that bus.
No, I think it was
No?
too, but I can't remember what the topic was.
Right.
What we wanted to.
It was to do with the preparation
Watch
of
the
the
video
report.
before we came today.
I know,
Pretty
right?
sure, yep.
See what happens in 6
Don't
months?
need it. Right.
You got a couple of
Which,
tire tracks on your back,
thank you,
Robin.
thank you for that, I'm quite happy to take the flak. I think it was to do with the report preparation itself. We're not there, anywhere near there yet,
Okay, I thought it was something to do with how other groups have.
and I've got those.
Oh, how other groups have done their survey outreach response. If they had any just assistance or guidance on how other, because that's not in the reports necessarily how that methodology is done. But if they had any just recommendations on how to reach more people, I think that was why we were reaching out to them. It was something like that.
I think it's on the second page. May I have that back, please? Thank you. I ran out of paper at home, so I had to use
Very
my
nice.
master's
Yeah.
thesis paper, and it's ancient, it's
Yeah.
getting yellow.
Can I suggest that I'll follow up with MHC?
Okay.
Because I know the,
Yeah, that was why you were in conversation with Jen.
right. Okay, I will do that, thank you for pointing that out. So carry that one forward.
What's a vice chair for?
Yep, absolutely. Right. Yeah, this is the bit here. It's absolutely right.
Okay. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
Jen,
Yeah.
Who's actually been very helpful in the past, so
Yeah, she's the one that came and
Correct.
spoke, right?
Yeah.
So, wonderful.
so put me down RHE to speak to. Okay,
Okay.
right. Reviewing local non-profit requests for support letters.
I have not reached out to them yet,
Okay.
but I have contacted Christine Malpica, who is a local historian, and she's a local contact for Indigenous tribes. She puts together the Indigenous Peoples' Day in October,
Yep.
and I asked her if she would please give my contact information to her contacts. And I also sent her information about this committee. And we've kind of been playing email tag, but she indicated that she would like to hear more about the committee, And I did tell her that at this point, we're just a study group. You know, we're not there
issuing
yet.
policy or
Yeah.
anything, no.
But, so I should ask, once again, letters of support from trustees, Greenbelt, First Settlers, certainly the indigenous community. Anyone else?
I don't know. Firstly, First Settlers have verbally spoken to me. They're very supportive. Anyway, so that box is sort of checked at the moment. The disappointing one is the trustees, and
Yeah.
I met with a gentleman, David, and I can't remember his surname, he's no longer on the trustees, but he knows the area very well, and I have told him we're disappointed not even to have a response to your
Yeah.
letter. Even an acknowledgement would have been good, and he said there have been management changes in their food chain, so he said reach out to the new CEO,
Okay.
whose name I'll give you.
We've got time to put that together.
Yeah, it's just
so-
so that they're on, and the same with Greenbelt, which I think Lon's got a connection with
Yeah, I
Greenbelt.
can-
That's
But
Ed
Kate-
Becker, right?
Not anymore. Kate,
So-
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's.
Oh, Kate Bowditch?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
I know her. So I'll give you the name for the trustees that he told me to speak to.
Is it the CEO? The new CEO and president?
She's got a,
Where?
Kate Bowditch?
no,
No, trustees.
Oh,
is that who
trustees.
they recommended you reach out to?
no,
For the-
the lady who's just taken on, who's got a long name, long surname, I can't remember it. But
So, I should send this to the board, the
No.
CEO,
no, to the, I'll give you the name of the lady of the trustees, so directly to her. He said if you just put the board, it gets lost.
Okay.
So we need an individual.
So is that the site manager that you're talking
No,
about?
that's the CEO of the whole thing.
Okay, okay.
And for Kate's, if you get a letter, I'll hand deliver it and talk to her.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Okay.
If it was Ed, I'd just send a letter.
I can't remember.
And then, shall we ask for a letter of support from the First Settlers, even though they have given us
No, sure,
their,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'll, Bethany knows the name of the,
Is there sons and daughters? Is that?
Yeah, the sons and daughters of the
yeah,
First
those
Settlers,
whose
yeah.
name we have got it on file. They come back very supportive. Okay, all right. Study plan progress report.
How do you, just a quick question, how do you spell Malpica?
Malpica.
Cool, thank you.
And have we contacted, or do we need to still contact, or whatever, the managers or whatever of the three cemeteries?
Oh, the
Evergreen,
cemeteries.
right, First Settlers, and then the one across the river.
Put them-
That was on the list for a while, I didn't know if anybody had gone. We know that the First Settlers are interested.
Sorry, the First Settlers Burying Ground that's owned by Sons and Daughters of the First.
Right.
Oh,
Just
well,
making
Right.
sure.
maybe that's
Right.
why.
It's
Right.
just one.
Oh,
Right.
that's why, okay.
Right.
Because they wanted to be included.
Okay.
But that's something to consider, that would be four non-contiguous, or three non-contiguous spots.
I have something, just a question for Ellie.
Yeah.
So I've been reading Bethany's book on Old Newbury. It's very good. It's very good. What, do you do MLA for the bibliography?
Normally I do Chicago.
Chicago, okay.
Yeah, that's typically the-
Okay,
The standard now.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. So we're now into a progress report on the, where we are on
Oh.
the study group. Okay.
What's
So,
up?
shall I start?
Sure.
Let's have some fun facts. So I've started on the, as Ellie and I
Oh.
were doing architectural stuff, so we'll get straight into that so far, and then we have some analysis behind that.
Oh, wonderful.
So this follows sort of the format that MHC wants to see as the appendix of things. It's work in progress, but I just want to run it by everyone to see whether there are any ideas, things I've missed. I'm not asking you to go through individually, but columns, headings, which I've embraced the columns and headings from some of their reports, and I then put in a photograph so we can see. There we go. And there are lots of gaps, as you can see, so it's a question of filling out. But if you're okay with that, it sort of gives you a quick snapshot of properties we're talking about, which may or may not be included, we don't know. We haven't come to that bit yet, but it gives the sort of facts behind it. Okay, so, and there's some, I was trying to get some, sorry the print's a bit small, but it's getting those columns on, I'll change it.
Hip roof is something different, isn't it, Ellie?
Mhm.
A hip roof is almost like a mansard, isn't it? Or, well, no, it's like a Dutch colonial?
It's
like
yeah,
that.
but a gable roof is simply like this,
Yeah.
facing the front
Yeah.
or the side.
Yeah.
And a hipped roof is two gable roofs pushed together. So there's
Ah.
one point at the very top, and then it slopes down in 4 directions.
Ah, okay.
Okay, I got this a bit wrong then.
Yeah,
Single hit.
this is a
it's
gable
not-
roof.
Right.
And a
Which,
mansard is
yes.
a
Well, I
hipped
have
roof
to
with
add-
an extra
to
roof.
throw this out,
Right.
whether you haven't even seen it, is we will need to critique it, because I put a few question marks into
Okay.
that. But,
Yeah.
the idea was to get the
This,
process started.
yeah, thank you very much.
So
Where does this document live?
it lives on my PC at the moment, and I'm ready to.
Put it on the Dropbox.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll send it on for things. There are all sorts of questions arising out of it in terms of the description, the architectural style, you know, what it's called, the sort of.
Sure,
And
yeah.
so I put in a glossary of terms, bottom, way down, things like that, and dates.
Okay.
And this comes out of the original list that you supplied. I
Oh,
also
yeah.
haven't put in
Yeah,
any
yeah,
of the macros numbers or refs. but
Right,
we can
which
do
a
all that.
lot of those do not exist, we know.
Right,
But,
absolutely.
Yeah, the few that do have state register nominations, we can
Yeah,
hop in.
but it's sort of, and this pings off it,
Mhm,
and that will be
mhm.
populated, because they quite like to see what the,
Yeah,
what we're
just the
talking
breakdown
about.
of
Yeah.
age and
Yeah, so that's,
style is, that makes sense.
so I think this is just to start, get us going.
I noticed that 6 Newman Road is listed as very good condition.
Yes. Well, I haven't seen inside everyone else's property. So,
Oh.
and so is the Dole House, actually.
Yeah, I just
It's
noticed
really-
that. Yeah, Dole is also very good,
Yeah.
which I can.
But I'm gonna give
corroborate. I have
the-
no idea what the condition is on that either.
Yeah, yes, the subjective things we'll deal with, because,
Right.
yeah, and Don's is very good as well, so. So, yeah, so that's sort of, and I did all the things in black and white.
Yeah, it's
Quite a
nice.
good way of,
Good.
just
That's
to
really great.
remind.
Thank you, thank you.
They're not very large, but they just remind you of what we're
Yeah,
looking at.
wonderful.
Okay, so I think this will become like the working,
Yeah.
a sort of appendix to
Okay.
what we're talking about.
Okay.
But the analysis bit will go into the form of words that we need to put in, you know, how much this property is within certain age age things, I've only seen covered 15.
Yeah, there's
So-
no, one thing that's missing I see is like an alteration date or,
Correct. Oh yeah, there's
right?
It was to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, okay, so
Um,
we'll see, but,
So, but you're right. If we can put it on the on your site, which I'll
Yeah.
ping it to you.
Yeah,
Alteration date would include,
any additions or major, not like little renovations, but big
Major,
renovations that have
yeah.
happened on the buildings? Because obviously, most, if not all of these do not look like they did when they were built.
No.
So, and it's not, we're not talking about inside, right? We're not, because we
yeah,
don't know.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
But exterior wise, like when was even a shed addition put on the back of something, and that may have been 20 years after it was built, but it's still an addition?
And
So
some
if
of these we
can-
wouldn't know.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
No.
I
It's
mean,
just,
like
we could just
my-
put, for
yeah.
instance, altered.
Okay,
If
oh,
we don't
okay.
find the date,
Good.
but it just means that we understand that this building has changed over time, and they maybe all be altered, but
Right. I
if
mean,
we
all
can
of
say
them
like
would
altered
have-
21st century, that's different than altered 19th century.
Yeah.
Like our place was altered in 1830, a major rebuild and addition put on.
Yeah,
And then the people that owned it before us took down the barn and added the
Right.
art studio on the side, that what our art studio is now.
Yeah.
And then we remodeled it by enlarging the back of it.
And the pumpkin houses have
Fair.
hundreds of chimneys, so in its time I hadn't filled that in.
yeah, I can do that.
Yeah,
I think it's the ferry
I think
house.
you could.
Yeah, the ferry house.
The neighborhood calls it.
The ferryman
pumpkin
house.
Right.
Because it's color, yeah.
And also architectural style is, that was my interpretation, may not be yours, you know.
And Jerry's house I'd put in good condition. I've been inside, maybe probably.
Yeah. Jerry's house is recorded as being constructed in 1940.
That's correct.
After it burned out.
Oh, does that have an easement? Is that what that,
It
yeah?
has an easement on it,
Yeah, it's preserved because of its restoration and reconstruction style in the era of preservation, not
Yeah.
because it is itself a
Yeah.
old tavern.
But bits of
Separate
it
down.
are a lot older.
Yeah,
But
Not
we
from the
don't-
original
no,
building.
No, I know, yes, I know.
they were
it's a-
salvaged, but it's
I
really
know.
interesting style. It's really
Yeah.
interesting in the idea of 21st or 20th century preservation.
Right.
So if we're
In fact, I ought to
looking,
put that in a comment, sorry.
I'm sorry, excuse me. So if we're looking at, the area basically adjacent to the Lower Green,
Our study area.
the study
On-
area, Historic New England has the Dole Little House,
Yeah, yes,
an easement on the ferry,
correct,
an easement on the Seton.
correct.
Correct.
Which one am I missing now?
I think the
no,
others are too far
The,
north.
across the street from us, we don't want to use names, but
The Seton-
they've got an easement on that, it's held by the trustee.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm trying to think of their address.
Yeah, it's 280.
280.
280.
It's down here, yeah, 280.
And then, what am I thinking of? Just
Sure.
lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
You're talking about there.
Just
New
looking at historic
England's-
New England's.
New
Yeah,
England.
Historic New England.
I think those
That's
are the
it.
Yeah.
only ones in the area, because we
Yeah.
have Coffin and Sweat Ilsley
Yeah.
and such.
Oh,
and
yeah,
those are
okay,
too far
that's what
north.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of all of those other ones.
Yeah,
And then the Jackman Willette also is,
Yeah,
under
yes.
historic preservation,
Yeah.
and that's in very nice condition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, we'll adjust all the.
yeah, it's lovely, yeah.
things, including yours, of course. Anyway, so yeah, that's,
No, I'll stick with good on mine.
so the next thing is to sort of move into the history side of the buildings, because they're on the anecdotally put in as well. Now, whether the format of that should run somewhat similar, I don't know yet. I mean, I'm looking at some of the other reports, and they do
so kind of like a
itemise.
National Register nomination, where
Sort
they
of-
kind of go through by address
By address, some of them do, not everyone, because not everyone, they don't, it's not often known what the history is, but
Yeah,
we want to,
yeah, okay.
want to get that done, because now sort
Okay.
of, which is,
I think that's the person for the
correct.
first settlers,
Bruce, yeah,
Bruce
he
Ailsley.
does,
Yeah.
He looks after the Seton House
Oh,
And he's the guy with the
Oh.
mower and everything.
oh,
Across the
okay.
way, yeah, he's for Jerry,
okay.
Well, either way.
and he lives, yeah, he lives over
That's
there.
good to
know.
And he's the guy I see from time to time, but, so he knows, he's up to speed with what we're doing. Okay, so you just carry on. So, for example, in some of the history bits here, if you're when you get to the history bit, they pull out some of the properties and put in if they know who the architect was and,
Oh,
and you know this person was assigned to the Boston Naval
oh,
Shipyard.
nice, so
Things like
salient
So
details.
yes, no, and of course, you know what you know about. They pick out this is the one from our independence. So there's a bit of history brought in to each one, but then they do have the sort of properties with their year built and everything else. So that's what we're doing. Ours are a little bit more extensive.
Which one is this? Is
This
this
is
the
Mount Independence in Lexington.
Lexington?
If you've got that, so it covers where there's a bit of relevant history specific. I mean, it sort of adds a bit of meat on the bones to the overall, you know, what went on in this area in the late 1600s, 1700s as well. You can then pinpoint specifics, like, you know, who the Dulles were,
Mm-hmm.
for example.
Mhm.
You know,
Cool,
they ended
yeah.
up owning half of Hawaii and were big pineapple people. So, you know, and that sort of thing you want to put in.
Just
you know,
that one island.
Yeah.
And indeed the plumbers, who were the big local landowners, who owned several of the properties on this list originally.
The Colbys.
That thing that the Sons and Daughters put together in 1948 for that
Yes.
one thing has got a lot of nice descriptions on the Dole
Right.
homestead and the various,
Right.
the Plummer
So-
homestead, and write-ups on that.
So we
And that was the house, our house was still a Dole house then.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's important to sort of, in sort of as a subset to what will be the overall history and relevance of the area as the first settlers.
And for the school,
That's nice.
that's 1877, that's a little later, but for the school, I've got the guy that did the architecture, the
Right.
redesign and everything, I've got his book, he's donated to
Right.
the
Oh.
Historical Commission, so we can look up all kinds of
Nice.
information on
Yeah.
that.
And was there a
Nice.
school there before the school? Was there an original, you know?
There was a
before
school before it.
1870? Right, so
But it was,
digging around before the 1877.
right, and I've got a picture of that even.
Yeah.
That only had 2 windows on the side instead of 3, so it was
Yeah,
smaller.
right.
And an
And-
outhouse in the back,
And an outhouse on the side.
on the
And
side.
can I?
The one that's there now is in the back.
Right, when we get to it, a lot of the reports have a lot of the historic photographs of the homes as well as the later ones. So if there are
Oh,
any,
yeah, nice.
for example, as part of their big intro, and for example, we've got the picture of the whole green, which I've got, which we will have in there as well, things like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's just
nice.
sort of, we're rather going down the line, fleshing out what will be the final product, but
Nice.
it's the next thing. So the general history, which we've sort of earmarked Bethany to oversee from the last meeting, although we then want the specific histories, which I think you were going to do what you could figure out to move along. We're going to do it for individual properties, I think. That is right. From the original planned list, as I recall. Yep.
That's okay, I'll believe you.
Yeah. Well,
I like it.
I'm happy to go and.
Joy's ready to get down, so I'm sad. Well,
But
Should I
so
be-
so we got to do and then I've got note down on the indigenous side.
Yeah.
Bethany and someone called Richard.
Well, and Richard will also
Oh,
write
Richard,
that thing.
yeah.
What we're gonna do, when we're ready to do it, all I gotta do is this. You
Yeah.
said you'll do it.
Because there was a community here. So and that's very
Yeah.
important to get the Massachusetts Historic Commission. So that's that is a significant thing we ought to mention.
Well, not only that, but, it's the right thing to do,
Yeah,
is to
yeah,
mention the
absolutely.
indigenous population.
So this Richard, you're...
He's been on the Historic Commission.
Okay, right.
Yeah, and he's written a report that he would just condense down. If we give him a feeling for what we want to put into that section of the
Right.
report. And
Okay.
then he can just pull that portion out and rewrite it.
So something that
And then Bethany can read it.
Yeah,
Pardon?
sure.
Christine Malpica, who's the contact with the indigenous peoples of the area, she was talking about, would we maybe put a sign or some sort of signage or, indicating that this was an important area to the indigenous peoples? I thought that was an excellent idea, I mean, we're not there yet, but I just wanted to throw it out there.
I think that's a question that we can't answer,
No,
but
we
that the
can't.
indigenous people should answer.
Right,
Yeah,
but I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea. Yeah, I took that picture too, yeah.
There's no mention,
No.
which
Well-
I agree. I mean, whether one
Well,
replaces that
at the
with
beginning, from when you go from Rowley into Newbury on 1A, there is one of these signs that says, the area was known as
something,
Quisquaquamet or something like that, and, but it's way down there. And that's definitely, it's just something, to think about. I think
Yeah.
it's very important.
Was that what it was known as?
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah.
That's the, but, yes, we put that, we don't forget that, we'll put that on the watch list, so I think you're right. Okay, so, what do we need to do now? Just to recap on who's doing what, okay?
Okay.
So, relative to progress
The
report.
south, yeah.
Okay, so Lon, we've got to go through your original list.
Now we're looking at, this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we were just talking this morning that,
This one. Yeah.
Joy and I are gonna be working on what this subtask 1C, well, the background.
Background, that's what I thought.
I'll work with Richard, and then we'll get a draft, something put together, and then get that off for review. And then jumping down, we were gonna do 1C. Hang on. I should have put notes on here. Okay, so question on 1B.
hold on, just.
Who's got the expertise on that?
Quick question, are we talking about,
The outline?
the plan?
Plan, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, just, okay.
Mhm.
Well, mine says study report plan.
Yeah, that's,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
mhm. Okay.
Had we defined anybody to do 1B yet?
1B is prepare discussion with the local historic district and the process.
Right. I mean,
No, I
are
don't think
we,
that
are we
was-
all equally as, I mean, we've all done our research, that's why we're sitting here. But is there anybody in the group that really knows that? I think we,
Not yet, we don't.
so it doesn't really matter who starts that.
No,
Yeah, no, I think that one's, I mean, essentially it's taking stuff from MHC and
Right,
putting it
that's just,
in.
right, so any one of us could do that
Yeah,
portion.
yeah.
So,
It has not been signed yet, though, yeah.
okay. Do we want to take that on, or Joy?
I think
Or
we
not.
can, I mean, if you want to, but I think it's not the meat, so it's,
No,
like, it's
it's
not
not, it's-
absolutely important that we do it right now, because there's a
Yeah.
number, like, that can be done when we're doing
Yeah,
the,
this is-
it's starting at the
intro
bottom.
and the outro
The bottom
things.
up is sort of the
yeah.
properties, the history, and then
Significance.
before we get to the bigger picture and the
Yeah,
overall, so,
Yeah.
which I'm happy to continue on the architectural and the property side, the physical,
Okay.
tidying up.
So which one is that?
That is.
Further down.
Hmm.
C, under 3, which is architectural survey and properties.
B,
There's determine the styles, ages, alterations,
Yeah,
distribution, and then list and specify the structures and properties,
Yeah.
which is what you've started.
Yep,
Oh, well,
started.
that's, yeah, and
3A and B.
that's another one we should put on here is if they're protected elsewise,
Good point,
is,
thank you.
do they have other restrictions on them? Are they
Yeah.
registered? Are they nonprofit? Like, what are the other,
Yeah.
protections? And then identifying the significance of each property, and that's what you're talking about in terms of, like a National Register nomination will have almost every single property pulled out and a brief paragraph or so, history of it, and any significance of the property. That's, I
And
think, what
whether
we're
they're on
talking
any
about.
other registers or
Yeah,
recorded somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
Or whatever.
okay. I can start helping you do that.
Okay,
Um,
Which one? Task 3?
this is 3, yeah.
all 3A, B and C.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll look over and I'll help flush out this as well.
Yep.
I'll do it in such a way, we can talk about this kind of offline, but I'll do it in such a way that my
Yeah,
alterations.
that's the other thing about doing this is sort of breakout
Yeah, breakout through.
things. We don't want
Yeah,
to sit
we can
there
talk.
Yeah, yeah.
going through all these item by item.
Yeah.
Correct.
But I'll do it in a way that my
Okay.
edits are identifiable from yours, so that we can like double check our work.
Great.
Just
Yep.
say, I don't agree, or
Yep.
that's the wrong date.
I like how you did this in the red. That's very useful, you know.
That,
Yeah.
are you looking at Lon's edits? Cause I
That's right.
noticed there's, another document on here that's Lon's edits, and to be honest, I don't know where that came from. I don't know if this is the one that we, approved.
Yeah, this,
Does it say with suggested
We had
edits?
a report
suggested
plan.
future edits to study report plan lawn.
Yeah, that date, the date on this report is actually after our last meeting,
Ah,
and so we haven't, I don't know the context of these edits.
ah.
Okay.
Cause that is
Well,
not
I like
the,
what you did anyway.
It was,
I like what you did.
Well, thank you.
but that's a way of,
Okay.
I believe the reds are just differences between that and the approved plan.
Oh,
Okay,
these
I
are,
see.
these are edits that I made in the last version.
Yes,
Right.
Yes, now I remember what
Yes.
was history. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had the one in the meeting and I made these suggestions. Oh, here, suggested future reference to this bloody
Yeah.
thing. Come on, wake up.
yeah,
Okay.
so if these are edits that we as a committee feel we want to, like adopt, I think we should
I don't
probably
think it-
vote
yeah.
to approve them. If they're substantial, if they're just grammatical, then we don't have to, but,
Right.
cause this is not the study report that I believe is on our website.
Okay.
So,
So
I think
we're-
there's
I'm
one
just
there.
trying to think of, I don't think
so
this
is that,
changes
is
the
that a
meaning.
question? Is that something,
Yeah.
an action? Okay.
That is,
So
that is
what-
a question, if,
okay,
take
so
a look
what
at
Ellie's-
those in red.
So what Ellie's saying is, what's on our, what's in the Dropbox?
Yeah.
What
We have
officially we're working from is not the lawn one.
that. Okay.
Correct.
Now,
So if we want it to be.
if.
But I don't
but
think
if-
it changes what we've
No,
been doing
no,
on
no.
anything.
No,
Right.
Okay.
It's more of a matter of
Right.
public
It doesn't
principle
change.
of
Yeah.
making sure that what we are working with is the one that the
Yeah, so we
public
all
has.
have the same when we print it out.
Okay, so shall we approve the one with the red?
My feelings won't be hurt if you don't.
I don't think we need to approve, wasn't it in there anyway?
I'm just on a Dropbox, not online. I'm just looking through real quick just to see what the nature of the edits were, and so
Yeah.
far
Here.
it's
That's what I was
mostly-
looking
Yeah, no,
at.
I've
Give
got,
that-
it
okay.
right here. I'm just switching between the two
Okay.
versions, so I'm task 3C. Discussion picks included. I'm not seeing anything like super drastic. Is anyone else?
No. Well, no, there's just a couple of additions, create a discussion and boundary map to confirm the study area,
Yeah.
introduce proposed bylaw language.
Yeah, that one we did have a discussion about earlier when we were first doing this, as to whether the bylaw language or proposed bylaw language should actually be in the conclusion or as an appendix.
Yeah, that would only be, I'm not sure what we would do in that.
Yeah.
It would be like a conclusions in effect.
Not the,
And
it wouldn't
then
be
you
the
go
full
to the
language.
appendix to see, just to see how it's actually incorporated in.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Okay, so yeah, like, introduce the broad strokes of what the proposed language is and the actual
Yeah.
language would be in the appendix.
Because, you know, very few people are probably gonna read the bylaw. But
Yeah.
this would say,
Oh, I
here are 5 bullets that say
Oh,
what's
I
in
see.
it.
Okay, kind of like the legalese versus
Yeah.
the layman version.
And in fact, if you had the bullet, you could even reference a section within the bylaw.
Okay.
To go look at.
Okay.
I was just wondering when we'd lose our readers.
It's fair, it's fair. Okay, I mean, that's the only kind of major one, the rest is just semantics in terms of,
Yeah.
you know, protect versus include, like grammatical words, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, cool, well, then I make a motion to adopt these edits.
Okay,
Okay, second?
Okay.
all in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Alright, cool, thank you, just for that.
Yep.
So
I will.
you'll put them into the minutes?
Yeah, I'll make sure
Yeah,
that's
make sure they're in there.
just
Okay.
one version now, get rid
Thank
of
So,
the others.
so on that, we're outside this progress, so we'll have another, for the next meeting, the same item to review the progress.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
this is what's driving, you know,
Correct, yeah,
the bus
Bus.
that ran you over.
right,
Yeah.
thank you. So,
Okay,
right, okay.
Yep.
So Joy, you and I are gonna take a shot at C? Is that what we agreed to?
Subtask 1C.
Subtask 1C. I'm
Or,
sorry.
and
now,
that
to
is-
me, that's kind of the same as task 3.
Could you just read out what those are?
Certainly.
C is,
So what Lon is saying is, so subtask 1C is prepared discussion of the LGLHD. Why are we here in the first place? Prepare discussion of the preservation need and recent events. Describe initial local communication effort and neighborhood support of creating. And describe the community and regional benefits of. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's a recent history of the area in terms
Okay.
of the preservation movement or lack of preservation movement, right, of certain buildings being
Yes.
demolished. That's what that section's about.
All right.
Sections three
Okay,
is
I
about
see.
the extant, what's
Okay.
still there, what's the historic resources that we are still
All
trying
right,
to protect.
thank you for
it's
clarifying.
not,
Yeah,
yes, it's not the past, it's
So-
the present.
Okay,
That's a yes then?
yes,
Okay. And I think we need to take sections and pass them back and
Sure.
forth.
yep. Good.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
we will be still doing.
1B, we said leave open for now because
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, we
it's-
can do
you
that
just
later.
Copy it, you know.
Yeah, I don't see that taking long, it's
Yeah.
probably paragraph or two, yeah.
Right,
Oh, excuse me.
Okay,
I
We will take
might,
on-
outline, provide an outline for next time on task 2A.
and 2A is,
Prepare a discussion of the
Oh.
procedures that we're going to follow. Define a study area, physically walk around area, hold preliminary information exchange meetings in the 3 Newbury neighborhoods, historical research on homes and properties. So the historical research on homes and properties is task 3. Yes?
yeah,
Okay,
this is just the methodology section.
okay,
So just literally outlining what methods we used.
okay.
When I know the history, and then you guys can, I've got a draft, put in all
Flesh it
the,
out.
all
yeah,
the meat.
flesh it out, right.
Some flesh on the bone.
It's just, you know, when I read that, I don't envision that section. If you've got a detailed annotated outline, then now I know what's going in that section.
Okay,
Sure.
And I'll take a shot at that, and then work with Joy on the one above it.
all right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
This is great, Robin.
Yeah, that's very nice.
starts, gets
Yeah.
us on you go, yeah.
Yeah,
I wanted to sort of start.
And I'll get a hold of Richard.
Okay,
And then it's just section 1A, which is the regional setting and history discussion, and that was gonna be Bethany. And that's
Correct.
kind of an overview of
The
all
whole
of the
thing.
history, yeah.
Correct, so that's what I've got.
Her book is very good on Old Newbury.
Wonderful.
I highly suggest it.
It's
It's very
Bethany's.
good.
What's it called?
Bethany's.
Yeah, Bethany's, yeah,
I-
it's
I
very
read-
good.
wrote myself
Yeah.
a note to get a copy
What
of
is
it.
it?
Yeah.
What's it?
It's called A Brief History of Old Newbury. And
It's
it's,
available from the museum.
Now, that's a book, right?
Yeah, it
That's
is
not
a
that
book.
little flyer.
No, it's a
There's
book.
a flyer too.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
right,
it's
okay.
it's a book. It's, you know, it
They'll have it.
gives some gossip
Yeah.
and, you know, different things. It's a very good read.
Right,
very
which is
nice.
why she's the right person to do the big overview.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Besides that, I think the rest of the sections that we aren't covering yet are going to just need to be written
Moving
after. Yeah, they're like conclusions and such that we can't write
Yeah,
until we
until
have
we're
this
done
next
with it.
section done, so. Then, I guess the only thing is making tangible deliverables for the next meeting, if there are specific things we want to make sure that have done, and if we want there to be a preliminary period for each other to kind of read those before our meeting, making sure we have a date where they're uploaded to the Dropbox and we let people know,
Oh, okay.
if that, is that
it's a good point,
helpful?
yeah.
Like a week before or something, so that we can, you know, review them and then discuss.
How long do you need to do some of this?
I will not be available for a few weeks. So it will probably be not, if we have a meeting in May, maybe not in May, it may be in June.
Okay.
Okay.
That's gonna be, I hate the new Outlook app. I hate it.
What we can do is wherever we are on the section we're doing together in my outline here,
Yeah,
week before the meeting, updated, or uploaded, I mean,
Yeah,
to the box, then we can look at it.
And
'Cause
like
I don't know,
email
I don't know
us.
where we'll be on ours, on this thing, and I don't know where I'll be on that yet. I know that I'm buried until the 23rd of this month, because we've got a big thing on for Earth Day going in Newburyport, and I'm
so there's no
unfortunately
point
right in the middle of it.
in having a meeting in early May.
No.
Our next one, yeah. Either late May or early June then.
Yeah.
I think that's okay as long as we make sure that, yeah, we've made distinguished progress by the next
Yes,
meeting.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I think it's a question of communicating,
yeah,
which I'm not very good at, but I'm sort of. But
That's why-
yes, at least we got the show on the road, so,
I
yeah.
didn't say a word.
no.
But yeah, that's why having
Didn't
like
need to.
having a due date will be
Yeah.
good.
Okay, so-
When is the next meeting then? Did we do
Why,
that?
that's
Website.
weird.
That's what we're looking
Oh,
at, yeah,
oh,
we're
okay.
looking
I
at that
just-
now.
Allowing time for, there's quite a lot of things we've got to draw in together now.
Yeah,
And there's no point in saying we're going to do it and then the next meeting comes up and
it's not done.
Yeah.
And 6 months is way too long.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So, but anyway, let's move on before we get to doing next meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
so public comment?
If you
Oh,
got-
also,
got-
I did find Madison's research, just by the way.
Oh, good, yeah.
Yeah, I was her successor found her binder and has put it in my office, so I haven't had a chance to look through it yet, but I'll bring it to the next meeting
Wonderful.
and see if
If
there's
it's
anything.
relevant, if it's.
It's
It
her
is.
whole binder that she would always bring here, so I know a lot of it's probably gonna be agendas and meetings
Right.
and background information, but had been doing research on, the sites, so I know that there'll be some stuff on Dole, and then one thing that Historic New England, we didn't all staff today, so this is fresh in my mind, we have a study center that, part of it is we have yearly endowed scholars who focus on all 38 of our sites around a very specific topic. So the first year, we had 4 scholars across New England that looked at Black history at all of our sites, and they made a report on every single one of our museums with regards to Black history there, and gave that to the site managers to incorporate. So I know that we can pull some of that from the Dole Little one, and same with this year coming to an end school year, is about Indigenous history. So
Wonderful.
we have 2 Indigenous scholars, and so
Wonderful.
they are currently writing up and drafting those reports, and so when that gets sent to Shauna, Madison's successor, I will ask that she send that to me so I can read it. And
Wonderful.
we can mine
Yeah.
that for information as well. And those are done by Indigenous
Wonderful,
as well, so,
wonderful.
yeah.
Well, that'd be good, because then we
Well,
can put them in the
good to-
bibliography.
Yeah, what a great
Link
resource.
that with the person who's going to write up as
Yeah,
well.
exactly, so, that kind of information from Madison's binder, I'll make sure to mine.
Nice.
He'd probably get a kick out of seeing
Yeah.
what's there anyway, Richard. would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. What's next?
That is all, just wanted
That's
to.
all, that's all. Okay, any comments from the floor? Russ? None? I've got a comment for you, Russ. Somewhere in the back of my mind, you mentioned that there was an easement on the barn. Is that right?
I have 2 easements on my property already.
Are they recorded? I mean, are they
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
public stuff?
Do you happen to know, are
Do
they,
you, are they, yeah, sorry.
well, this is public record, so we
Yeah.
can find out, of course, but whether they're preservation easements or like right of access easements or water easements or certain things?
The barn has I guess what you would call a preservation easement.
Okay,
And then I have a state easement which goes across my property, which severely limits how I can expand my dwelling.
state easement.
And that's one of my biggest arguments in not wanting to be part of this.
Right. Duly noted.
Yeah.
And
When do you expect to have the boundaries drawn? I mean, I know, I watched the meeting.
yeah,
When
We're coming
you
up
said
to-
we were gonna be grandfathered in, but grandfathered in is a little bit different than not being in the boundary.
right.
Correct.
Because when the property changes hands, then the next owner would be coming in with even more restrictions on the property. If the property's still in the boundary, but I'm grandfathered in. Understand what I
That's,
mean?
yeah, I do, yeah, absolutely. And
So I'm very interested
Very-
in seeing boundaries.
Right.
Before
And,
I do
we've-
anything.
we've deliberately leaving that until the sort of last sort of thing, so we collected all the
Correct, but that's
information.
the elephant in the room.
Yeah, correct, and we're mindful of yours and your neighbours' opinions
Well,
as they've been well documented. So we don't need
It's
any,
not only me, by the way, I know you guys think everybody's for this, but
No, no, no.
everyone isn't for it.
No, no,
No, we don't think
Yeah.
that at all.
but we want them to at least be on side in the sort of process we come to, and then we are fully mindful of all the challenges and want to make sure that everyone's had their say and it's been recorded so that the ultimately the select board and everything else are fully aware of it all, and they will take it into account. We know that.
We want to be inclusive, not exclusive. So,
So things like you've suggested are important, that if there are facts like that are relevant, and they clearly are, that's we should know about them.
Well, we also have to coordinate with the state historic commission too, because they have to approve whatever we do.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so we have to, I mean, we can't go in and say, this has never been done before, the local historic district, we're recommending this. Because then we've got to worry about being trumped at that point of
Right,
the process, so.
yeah.
So we're talking with them also.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, anyway, no, thanks, Rice, no, it is important, I think,
Yeah.
so
Very.
yeah, much appreciated. Okay,
And I would like to just add that we fully understand that having boundaries and having a map is going to be really useful in terms of, your concerns as well as just engagement as well.
It's
We're not-
everything, really.
Yeah, we're not trying to hide that. It's more of a matter of we want to make sure that the boundaries that we do outline are very well reasoned, and there's a reason for them before sharing that. So we don't know what those are going to look like, right? We've got our cloud, but as soon as we do have that boundary and have mapped that out as a committee, we will share that with the public.
Oh, I understand. I
Yeah,
expect
I just want to let you know.
Curious, we've been at it now for
we
Yeah.
have, yeah.
over a year, and
I think
Yeah, we
we've
have.
struggled a bit with trying to figure out how this is supposed to work as a committee.
Yeah,
So
we-
once we've found our feet,
I do project
It has.
management for a living, so I'm just kind of watching this and like, why
Yeah.
is this,
Well, I
Because
mean,
we've never done this before.
you do that for a living, we're volunteers,
Yeah.
so, you know, I mean,
No, I understand.
yeah.
But now that we've kind of mapped out or figured out the steps in the order of operations, I have great hope that
Right.
this spring and summer we'll see
Yeah,
lots of movement.
yeah. Well, this goes a long way for determining
Yeah, that's
significance
nice.
and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that, so
yeah.
it's,
Okay. There's one, so under any other business,
Shall I read?
we're talking about having a discussion meeting sometime, like
No.
a workshop sometime, maybe where all of us could sit down, we've got outlines, notes, drafts, things like this, and rather than sitting like this at a board, talking to a camera, we have a
Yeah.
meeting in the round, and we pass things around and literally have a discussion over wording, things like this. as
And have
as
it be
comes.
televised.
Oh, it'd have to be,
Yeah,
Yeah, so
and
it
be
funnels up.
televised,
into-
yeah.
Yeah, so nothing's,
yeah. But you see what I mean, like a more of a workshop, or like a work group, where when we've got, you know, this product is complete, that product is complete, this product, we lay them all out and say, okay, how are we gonna meld these into the report? It's just like I don't know what they call it, but it's like a workshop.
Is this something that we can
And the
fold
public could be there.
to our next committee meeting or one of our next committee meetings?
Probably not the next one, but
Well, but
Yeah.
one of these, kind of our monthly, bi-monthly meetings?
could.
Okay.
It could be, just do that instead, because it's televised, it's gonna be a different format. I mean, we'll all have, you know, different sections of in effect, the things that are gonna go into the report, and talk about how it's gonna go and how we might,
Sure.
rather than having somebody go off and draft that, and then 3 people come back and say, well, I wouldn't have arranged it that way. So do more construction of the report with the products that we have that we're gonna be including in there and driving the wording.
Sure.
I don't know if that would be useful.
Yeah. No, I think it will. I think that's kind of just our next steps, right? First, we draft the sections and then.
Oh, yeah, we're not there yet.
We will,
Right.
that, like,
We wanna get-
we will have to do that.
Yeah.
But I have foreseen that in this committee kind of setting, where we all come with our notes and just discuss them. If it's something different, I don't think I'm understanding.
Oh, okay.
okay, we'll,
There's only 5 of us, I guess it'd be
So
a small
we'll-
circle. Okay. Maybe it isn't. Maybe we just do it in this setting.
yeah, I think we do. Okay, right.
Anything else?
Yeah, one thing that I think would be beneficial for the wider viewing audience is the recent article in the
Oh, yeah.
Newport News, of which the Vice Chair was going to read out because it's relevant to zoning changes and things.
Okay, so this is a letter to the editor from the Newburyport Daily News on Monday, January 29th, 2024. It's an opinion piece, letter to the editor. It's entitled Zoning Changes to Protect Newbury's Past.
And it's just the Newburyport News?
Newburyport, yeah, the Daily News.
Daily News, yeah.
To the editor, I'm writing to express my thoughts on improving current zoning laws and regulations in Newbury and the potential it has to protect our historic properties and farmland. Newbury, with its rich history and agricultural landscapes, stands at a crossroads where responsible urban planning is essential to safeguard our community's unique character and beauty. Newbury contains numerous historic homes, buildings, and landmarks that are integral to our identity. Without proper zoning measures in place, there's a risk that these important assets could be compromised or even lost due to insensitive development. Zoning laws could establish guidelines for preserving and restoring historic structures, ensuring that they remain a part of Newbury for future generations. Our farmland is also at risk without more zoning regulations. Increased zoning laws can help increase the use of designated areas for agricultural use, preventing the encroachment of incompatible developments that continue to threaten the viability of our farms and destroy our landscapes, such as changing certain properties and areas from residential/agricultural to purely agricultural to protect them from development. While the demolition bylaw is an effective tool, it is not enough to preserve and protect properties in this town. New zoning regulations can strike a balance between development and preservation, allowing for responsible growth while safeguarding our historical and agricultural assets, such as the Lower Green Historic District, which is currently being worked on and should be expanded along the High Road toward the Upper Green. By establishing new zoning laws, Newbury can create a framework that encourages smart development, respecting the character of our community and maintaining the landscape that draws residents and visitors alike. This is written by Parker Burns from Newbury. Thank you, Mr. Burns.
Okay, when do you want to meet next? Early June. Probably best, yeah?
Not the second night, not the second week of June, Tuesday or Thursday night. I'm booked the second week every Tuesday and every Thursday. I guess it's the second Tuesday and the second Thursday.
Yeah, Mondays have seemed to work
Mondays work for me.
historically for us,
Yeah.
So to speak.
so to speak, for most of us.
Uh,
Yeah, I think well, I can't do the 17th, but, or other than that, in June, all of my Mondays are free.
10th?
June 10th?
June works for me.
That's probably where my sister's coming. That's okay.
I will check the town calendar, make sure.
And hopefully we can
Oh, yeah, that's right. It has to
see
be
how
open.
progress is going.
Yeah, I assume so. Not many committees meet on Mondays, so typically that's good.
Oh, so say,
And
should
we'll
we
check.
have an alternative in case it's booked or not? I mean, when you go examine the books.
I'll send an email if it's not.
Okay.
And we'll make sure, see Bethany, make sure she can come too. So June 10th, just doing some math from the current date, is how many weeks out? Nine. All right, so in 8 weeks, we upload the drafts of everything we've worked on to
Right.
Dropbox, okay? So that's by the 2nd of June. End of day.
Okay.
And I'm sure someone will help me upload those.
Right.
I'll figure it out.
I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.